What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including WWE showing a big mistake regarding the Fiend on Raw, is Matt Hardy claiming he saved wrestling, a former WWE Women's Champion appears on Impact Wrestling, The Undertaker pranks a fan, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Now let's hit the intro and get straight into the first story. Now our first story looks at the Fiend being exposed, with WWE showing a big mistake on Raw. Now the Fiend was definitely busy on this week's episode of Raw, keeping Randy Orton off his game during his match against AJ Styles and eventually costing Orton the match when he appeared on the mat apron, startling Orton long enough for Styles to hit the phenomenal forearm and get the win. Unfortunately, while the WWE usually does a good job hiding the Fiend's mysterious comings and goings, eagle-eyed WWE fans saw the Fiend make his way to the ring on live television. As we've mentioned many times before, live TV can be exciting, but it could also lead to a number of bloopers such as this one. Did you guys spot the Fiend sneaking towards the ring on Raw? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, The Undertaker pranks a fan. The Undertaker recently took advantage of the hype surrounding the 30-year anniversary of his debut in the WWE to pull a prank on several wrestling fans. Recently, the fundraising site Omaze, which raffles off fan experiences for various charities, brought in a number of fans to cut video promos on the Phenom. Little did fans know, but The Undertaker was watching them, and after they cut their promos promising to open up a can of whoop-ass on the dead man, they had a grave surprise when The Undertaker popped up on their screens. Now this is all in an effort to raise money for charity, and the winners get a chance to tour the Performance Center with The Undertaker and even get to make their own entrance video. The funds will go to support the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Now, The Undertaker has been everywhere in November as the WWE has paid tribute to his 30-year career in the WWE with network specials and the recent final farewell at Survivor Series, so it's good to see him use some of his fame to support a worthy cause. Next up, Xavier Woods is hosting a show on G4. The defunct channel G4, which focused on video games and pop culture, is coming back, and New Day member Xavier Woods has been announced as an on-air talent. Woods, who will be appearing on the Revive channel in 2021, and G4's head of content Kevin Sabe welcomed him with the following announcement. "We cannot be happier to welcome Xavier to the family and introduce the first member of the G4's new cast. The list of on-air talent with advanced degrees in psychology, unbridled passion for video games, and multiple WWE Tag Team Championships is not long. We loved Xavier's creative #Creed for G4 campaign and cannot wait to showcase his many talents throughout G4's developing slate of programming. Xavier stands as a fantastic first representative of an exciting and diverse team that we are assembling for G4 and will be introducing in the coming weeks and months." Next up, what's going on with these following superstars? Here are the 3 situations to be aware of. Number 1, news regarding Eva Marie. And fans will recall former WWE superstar Eva Marie discussing her return to the company, but we haven't heard much about her situation. According to Ringside News' Steve Carrier, Eva Marie made a ton of headlines about a month ago when it was reported she was coming back to WWE. Where is she? We've been told that her name still hasn't come up at all backstage, except to wonder what's going on. No creative plans are in place. We're all still waiting, right? The second is Aleister Black, as Aleister Black's career was stalled prior to wife Zelina Vega's release, and while there's speculation that things are looking bad for the Dutch Destroyer, there have been no confirmed stories about his future. And finally, Seth Rollins. Dave Meltzer is reporting that Seth Rollins has been written off television after the recent Survivor Series, but that's nothing new as various reports indicated he would be taking time off after the pay-per-view to spend time off for paternity leave with fiancée Becky Lynch. The only real confusion about his situation is that Rollins left Survivor Series without any significant send-off other than him making the sacrifice for opponent Sheamus. Next up, Trish Stratus' movie project debuting soon. It's the holiday season and fans of the various Christmas movies that pop up on the Hallmark Channel and Lifetime may be surprised when they see Trish Stratus in one of the films. The WWE Hall of Famer recently tweeted the news that, "Excited to finally be able to share that my secret summer project was filming a movie. And not just any movie, a Christmas movie. #bucketlist. It drops Thanksgiving Day in the US. According to our website, TrishStratus.com, Stratus has a cameo in the film Christmas in the Rockies. Will you be checking that one out? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, a former WWE Women's Champion shows up in Impact. Impact Wrestling is holding a tournament for its newly revived Knockouts Tag Team Championship, with current star Jordynne Grace bringing in a woman who recently announced her retirement, none other than former WWE Women's Champion Jazz. Jazz clarified that while she announced her retirement, she'd like to leave on a high note, such as winning the tag team titles. Next up, AJ Styles shows up in Impact? What? Jazz isn't the only WWE superstar in Impact, as the Phenomenal One is back in Impact Wrestling, and the Good Brothers, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, couldn't be happier. Now, if you thought it was this AJ Styles, well, you're wrong. It's actually Hornswoggle, who appeared on the 24th November episode of Impact Wrestling as the wee nominal one, AJ Swoggle. Swoggle is working alongside the Good Brothers as part of their tag team feud against the North, i.e. Ethan Page and Josh Alexander. Swoggle defeated Page on Impact with an assist from Carl Anderson. Next up, did Matt Hardy claim he saved wrestling? Matt Hardy is an innovator in wrestling, as seen by the various times he's reinvented himself into a fresh character and his classic series of cinematic matches such as the Final Deletion that helped inspire more recent matches such as at WrestleMania 36 Boneyard match and Double or Nothing Stadium Stampede. A Twitter user GoPro Wrestling, which is a video production company that works with AEW and Being the Elite, thinks Matt work is what kept wrestling afloat in 2020, going so far as to tweet, "We're lucky to be watching wrestling, and it's all thanks to Matt Hardy." Matt humbly replied, "I hate to put myself over, but if I hadn't created the cinematic match years ago, pro wrestling probably wouldn't have survived 2020. Major companies only survived through the pandemic because they heavily relied on utilizing my cinematic concepts. The truth is the truth." Now, a little self-promotion never hurts, but as a number of fans have pointed out, there have been other innovators in the area of cinematic matches, including Lucha Underground, but everyone forgets about them. Next up, the Young Bucks say watching NXT would mess up their brains. The Young Bucks, aka Matt and Nick Jackson, are currently busy competing as AEW World Tag Team Champions, as well as the promotion's Executive Vice Presidents. The tag team recently appeared on Wrestling Inc., and they were asked if they watch NXT since it competes with Dynamite every Wednesday. The Bucks had a surprising answer, with Nick Jackson replying, "It's weird when you're in the thick of things and you're in the middle of it all. You don't even think about it. So it's probably something we'll think about later on in life, but as of now, I didn't even think of that question because we're so involved with every detail and every little thing that's going on with Dynamite that it's hard to even think about the other show at all." Matt added, "I forgot they have shows. It's tunnel vision to our own product. It's like, oh yeah, that's right, there's another show tonight. That's right." And that's the mentality of Dynamite and AEW, is we never wanted to know what that show is doing because we feel like if we do know, then it might screw up our brains and our minds on how we book things as well. So we've never have wanted to get caught up in any of that. Do you think the Bucks don't watch their competition? If so, what about other personnel in AEW such as President Tony Khan? And finally, Kurt Angle is jacked. Last but not least, Kurt Angle is 51 years old, but you'll never guess it from a selfie he recently posted on Twitter. The Hall of Famer posted a picture of himself looking jacked along with the following message: "Damn, it feels good to be able to train hard again. Feel like I'm in my 30s. Well, I'm in my 30s and I wish I looked like that. But there you have it, guys, the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know in wrestling. Be sure to leave your comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, follow us on Instagram and Facebook for exclusive lists, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.